pledge allegiance to
the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we learned that the mic or the unit has to be on there for it to share this.
All that.
Thank you. 5 minutes later, right? So no deep dive today into any specific subject. We'll just kind of go through. We do have a bunch of meetings and events coming up, so that's kind of good chance just to organize and coordinate. And since there was no deep dive, I decided to flip around the schedule a little bit. So Andrew, talk to me, open space and public comments. Any public to make a comment?
Oh, yeah.
Here, I was wondering. I haven't got any notice. So.
Right, they sent me. I got a letter a couple days ago,
Okay.
and I just need to get it notarized. So that hasn't happened yet.
All right.
So did we lose Paul?
No. Paul. Yes, Paul. What is it?
Crypto?
Crypto, yeah. Yeah, he resigned, but Paul Anderson is just not available. Well, welcome. Then happy to have you on the board here. If you want to get that notarized,
Will do.
Do you have any public comments now since you're not on the board yet?
Not at the moment.
Introduction?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm John. Last name TSE. Let's see. I've volunteered to plant trees many times with community canopy projects. What else? And I like biking. And let's see. And I care about the environment.
And what's your career?
Oh yeah, I'm in supply chain, so very unrelated.
You can say that.
I would say, yeah, not related, but.
And how long have you been at Plymouth?
Since 2020.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
pretty new,
Welcome.
maybe.
A newbie. Who's our longest resident in Plymouth, do you think? I would. 1985?
Wow.
That doesn't seem that long ago to me. I was 2000. Anybody else before 2000?
I was born in Plymouth. In
97.
97?
I was born in 97.
You started here when?
I was born in 1968 in Plymouth and then moved to Whitpain in 2005,
And how long have you been with the township?
since 1994.
Are you the longest senior person?
No. I think there's a couple guys that have been here a little longer than me. One of them.
Very cool. Welcome. And nice to learn these facts better. All right. I'll go into the open space and meadows.
So I think the biggest thing is the tree giveaway is planned and it's looking good. I'm excited to put the link out for that form, the sign up form. I sent it out to the board for review and got a couple comments, so thanks for that. I don't know if we wanted to briefly walk through the form really quick or the process for the giveaway, how it'll work, and the dates and stuff like that. If any of you are interested in helping us the day before or the day of, loading people's cars with trees and signing people in, giving them the pledge, stuff like that.
Do we need volunteers?
Yes, we will need some volunteers the day of. And
It would be great because, I mean, there could be as many, how many trees? It was 50, right?
50 trees, yeah.
So you think about 50 people coming and they need to sign a pledge and they need to get the instructions and they need to get their buckets of mulch and the cars need to be directed carefully so people aren't running into each other. things like that, you know.
So we
So I can get some scouts.
okay.
Day before as well if we need any help.
They
And
could-
on that day, so on both days.
Maybe they could help like fill buckets of mulch and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the giveaway is on September 27th. I'm expecting the request forms, the trees to be, I guess, accounted for pretty quickly. I'm expecting folks to sign up and fill all 50 requests pretty quickly based on how it's gone in White Marsh and in Norristown, where my nonprofit has done this before. But maybe not. But yeah, if I need help, I'll let you guys know and tell your neighbors anyway. But yeah, so the giveaway's on the 27th. It starts at 9 a.m. and it goes until 12:30. We're gonna do a planting demo for anyone who's picking up a tree that may want information on how to properly plant, and that's at 10 a.m., right? Or 10:30?
Yeah, so we were gonna do the half-hour slots with 10 people.
Great, yeah, so the planning demo will be from 10 to 10:30, and then the other half-hour slots, so 9 to 9:30, 9:30 to 10, are available on the sign-up form for folks to say, like, they can request a certain pickup window, so that'll give us an idea of how many people we can expect every half-hour section, so maybe if we see that most folks want to pick it up in the first hour, maybe we'll ask for more volunteers at that time.
Well, I think you were gonna limit it to 10 spots each, right?
That would have been ideal, but there was no way to do that on the
got it.
form.
Oh, got it.
So,
Okay. Yeah,
um,
okay.
but maybe we can figure that out in the future. So this is the sign up form. So this is what folks will see when we post the link. So I'm going to post it on our EAB Facebook page, and then I'm going to share that post to many other community pages on Facebook. There's going to be it's going to be in the fall newsletter, which comes out, I think, a week or two before the giveaway ends, or before the, I think it comes out the first week of September, right, Dino?
I don't know, I know so did you send someone that? You did?
Yeah, I talked to Joanna.
Okay, good, because I know I got one from you and one from you, but I don't remember getting anything from you. So, okay, I know that the articles were due Monday, or Friday, maybe the 15th. So I don't know how quickly it comes out.
Okay, so Joanna said first week of September is when it comes out. So it'll be in the newsletter. I don't know if there will be any trees left by the time it hits the newsletter, but
That'll make people happy.
yeah. But maybe, I don't know. I mean, ideally we would open up our giveaway link, this link, pretty soon, just in case it doesn't go. In case, yeah, we need more time, but maybe we wait until closer to the newsletter, so that folks who aren't on Facebook or
It's only a week. September 1st, you said?
the first week of September, yeah.
September 13th.
I think it's 2 weeks.
Like the farm closes on September 13th.
How
But
many trees does White Marsh end up taking?
They give away 250.
So it goes pretty popular, and those are all taken?
Yeah, most of them. There's last year or two there were only like less than 10 left.
So there sounds like there'd be enough interest to wait until the newsletter, sync them up at the same time, just do all of the announcements when that comes out. Give everybody a fair shot.
Okay.
And have you ever had owners or people sign up but not show up?
Yeah, that happens sometimes. We, at least, it's happened in White Marsh, but I kind of learned from watching what happens in White Marsh, and that's why we kind of made ours the sign-up form's a little kind of annoying. You have to read through a lot of stuff, you have to, click a lot of pages, you have to agree to take a pledge, because it's meant to weed out the folks who aren't really serious, hopefully, that's the idea. And then, we'll give them this pledge that they have to sign in person. So hopefully people who reserve one actually want one and will show up. But if not, we have leftovers. Usually folks say, if there are any leftover at the end, let me know and I'll come back and get another one. Or my nonprofit can always, find somewhere to plant it in our area.
I would definitely tell your neighbors though,
I mean, can you have a waiting list or something, or?
Yeah, if we will have a waiting list if there's more demand than the supply, and then we can use the waiting list numbers maybe as a gauge for next year. If we want to maybe do 100 trees or something like that.
And I was thinking that it would be really great to have the pledge on hard stock paper that they actually sign on a clipboard and take with them, because it just kind of sinks in a little more than just checking a box on a form, just to and to make it kind of special, that we thank them, and that hopefully they'll stick it on their fridge or something, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't end up quite like
Yeah.
that, but it got it changed a little bit, but.
Andy, can you open the pledge? I think it's on the next, if you hit next. Yeah. It just says, agree to read through the instructions and, agree to, value my tree.
Tree's new home address.
Yeah. Take care of it. Also, we're requiring a photo be submitted of it once it's in the ground, because folks in White Marsh have put it on Facebook Marketplace and sold it, or it sat in their driveway and didn't survive the winter because it froze, stuff like that. So we probably won't get everyone to send a picture, but we're hoping that we.
I wonder if it would be worth highlighting the first 3 words, submit a photo, just bold those 3.
Okay. Sorry, Alan, what were you saying?
Well, hopefully this will be the start of, and we said it was the first annual native tree giveaway. Hopefully this will be the start of an annual effort that will follow in White Marsh's footsteps, because it really sounds like there's a lot of money from all the fees that developers have to pay. I mean, would you say that fellow had to pay $60,000 or something?
I think
So-
yes.
Black Horse Woods was 70,000.
Yeah,
So that's just
the
one development. So
Yeah.
there's, I don't know, do you have any idea how much money is available?
That's the only one, so it's only that one. So it's in lieu of, if they can't plant what they're required to, they have to give, and there's one other, I think it was one of the storage places, there's like 5,000 in there, so.
Has the township spent any of that money for trees on township property?
Some of the money, I think the storage place was originally like 20,000, and we did spend money on planting trees. Out of that, I think there's $5,000 left, so we have used some of that money in
Okay.
the past.
But it sounds like there's probably, for future years, there's probably some money that could be expended.
Yeah. Okay, so what else? So there's going to be, so the pickup will be right out here. We have to figure out the route. I guess people will pull through, loop around maybe, and we'll have the trees in one section of the lot and just load them up in a mulch pile in the corner. If they want mulch, they can get it, and that way they can just go in and out, I guess. But I was gonna fill up using the mulch that we had delivered at the other end of the park on
Bicentennial?
yeah, what's that road called? New Hope Street. There's half the pile still there, so I was gonna load that in and move it up here, and then whatever's left.
Maybe the
just move
scouts
back.
could help for that.
Well, I could see if we could just get our loader and bring it up, take a scoop and bring it up. That's a lot of work to try and,
Do you have wood chips like that pile is? Okay.
they mix everything together and then run it through the tub grinder, so, I mean, I do use a tree, I have a trees guy that does work for me. I mean, I could ask him. I asked him the one time, and he said there was kind of like some scrub stuff on there. He didn't want to dump it
Yeah.
over Harriet Weatherall, but I can ask him if, what, do you think you'll need more than that?
No, I think that should be okay. Yeah, I could do calculations, but I think something that like maybe that's probably like 3 cubic yards or so. That should be more than enough, I would think.
So we were thinking people could bring their own 5-gallon buckets and then fill, and we'll have shovels available, and they could fill that and then bring it with them.
Yeah, I mean, some people might prefer to use their own mulch, like the colored stuff or whatever they use in their landscape. So some folks might not take what we have there, which is fine. And then the pots that the trees come in, they're air pruned. They're like a cloth, so they're pretty reusable. It's not like a plastic pot. So we're gonna have we're encouraging folks to reuse it. They can grow tomatoes or whatever in these pots, but we're gonna have a drop-off site here near the public works garage. I guess we'll have to work out exactly where, but for people to return.
You're gonna have him put it right in that mulch bin before you get to the public works garage, right on the right.
Okay.
There's the public mulch bin.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of Jersey barriers there.
Okay.
I put it there.
I can. I'll make a sign and put that on there. So, Andy, can you hit next again, please? So that document shows all the species that were given away. We got a good mix of small, medium, and large trees, but this just details all the information folks need to know about the trees that are available. And then, if you want to go back to the form and go next until you start seeing the form. So they have to agree to all this. They have to read through it all. And then this is what we're requiring people to fill out. Email address, home address, phone number, pledge. And then they'll choose their desired species. They have 3 choices. If their first choice isn't available, we can give them their second choice or their third choice. And that's pretty much it.
One thing a colleague of mine has done, he has a tree planting in his township
You
over in.
can probably consolidate that, right? Sorry, I was talking about the farm.
Like,
I think there's a ranking. Let me pull up the
Yeah.
Google form real quick and see what it's called.
like a ranking thing,
Yeah.
so it
Yeah.
can just be one question?
Yeah.
Okay, I can look into that.
I was just gonna say, one thing a colleague of mine had done with a planting program like this is mapped each year, like where the trees are, and so that's really fun to see the spread over the municipality. So that's why the home address would be fun to, over time, see like if we're catching all of the area or not, or if there's perhaps neighborhoods that we wanna reach out to, especially in the future. I don't know, so we can kind of get the canopies spread around. Just something to keep in mind for the future.
Do you want to make it so that, what if they only want one kind, would they select it 3 times, or?
At the bottom of the second option, it says, I do not want a tree of land.
Oh, okay.
So they can hit that. Same with the third one. And then there's their desired pickup window, excluding the demo time.
I think Andrew's done an amazing job putting this all together. I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's gonna be pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too.
Thank you, it looks great.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah, very nice.
Well done.
Um,
And the funding is from the housing, the developments, right?
Yeah.
The in lieu fees
Yes.
paid to the township.
I'm sorry, I forgot, where's the giveaway occurring?
Right here. It'll be in this parking lot here. So we'll have signs
Out there.
directing people or volunteers directing people. Yeah.
And is there any change of plan if it's raining real heavy? I mean, in terms of the dirt and the mud, do we have covers or awnings or something to make sure there, or canopies to place them under in case it does rain heavily?
That's a good point. We don't have I don't think we have a rain date.
I think it should just be rain or shine, don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would anything get real muddy if it was out in the open? I mean, is it worth having a canopy in case the containers of dirt?
No, not so much for the trees, I wouldn't think. It'll make it harder to sign the pledge. I guess they could do it in their car, but
How about a canopy then with just a table for sign up, like we had at the Township Day?
yeah, I don't know. I don't have one of those
I
available.
don't have a
but-
canopy.
Yeah.
There's no cover out there.
Yeah.
I don't think we used to have a couple canopies. I don't think we have them anymore. They usually rent them for Plymouth Township Day.
Yeah,
Is there
that's a good
an
point, though.
overhang out here? No.
There's like a vestibule here and a vestibule on the police side, but no overhang.
Well, we'll have, I mean, if it's like a catastrophic storm, we would have everyone's email address and we could send out, like if it's just a crazy like tornado watch situation or something, then we could just cancel it that way, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do you get their phone numbers? I forgot on the form where you're taking their phone numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we should say once everyone does their order, maybe then the final confirmation email, in case of extreme and inclement weather, please check your email that morning or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that's good. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I didn't think about
Andrew,
that. Yeah.
I figured out.
Oh, okay. So it's possible?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll tell you.
Thank you. Yeah.
And I don't know if you explained the night before, Andrew was saying that one thing, he's ordered this roll of wire to wrap around the trees for the deer protection, but what takes a lot of time is cutting each length. And so that was the night before from 5 to 6 p.m. wire cutting. So it could be really useful to get a bunch of people, and you said you needed wire cutters, like I have
Yeah.
a set of wire cutters I can bring. But if
Yeah.
other people have wire cutters, and we could just do it really quick and just cut all the lengths.
I think that's all that had to be done the day before, right? I have to arrange the delivery of the trees, and hopefully that can happen the day before, and we could just set them up here and leave them overnight.
Because you said White Marsh is the same day, right?
Yeah, White Marsh is doing the same day, too.
I mean, I think I can help probably on the 26th and the wire cutters. So.
Awesome, thank you.
Anything else? Or-
In this topic or on the tree planting?
in this topic?
Okay, I won't take very much time, but I just wanted to mention really quickly that We Conserve PA just came out with a model naturalized landscape ordinance that I thought, so basically they put these together and municipalities can adopt them into their code. And so I just printed this out, just can pass around, and it's basically an ordinance that allows for naturalized landscapes so that people aren't cited for, if they're purposely trying to have a meadow and they don't get cited for not properly
Mowing
taking
their
care of their
lawn or
property
something
and
that's
stuff like
further.
that. So that's the idea and I think you said White Marsh has one of these. And so, because we were talking about how more positive ordinances and actions probably are better. Originally, we had talked about trying to update, tree preservation and all that, but that's more of a negative, like punitive. You can never enforce it. Nobody's going to follow it. So trying to provide allowances and incentives in a more positive way. So this was just an idea. I don't know how we would go about getting this adopted, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, this could be pretty easy. Rather than trying to mess with the existing ordinance and do tree preservation and who's ever going to oversee that, who's going to follow it. People are just going to get mad. Property rights.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the procedure is. I'm sure that the solicitor would want to look at it, and I know there's, probably a time where, I guess the public can comment. I don't know how the whole process works, but I guess, council should probably see it
Yeah.
first.
I mean, I don't know if with the new township manager, there's probably a bunch of ordinance things that are coming up, and maybe you're collecting them and are gonna update the codes all at one time or something?
I
No?
don't think so.
Okay. Joel was saying there were some updates to the code. I was speaking with him. Joel Rao, is it?
Row, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
row.
I think that's a little different. That's more like building code.
Yeah.
I think there's a procedure you have to go
Yeah.
through.
There's-
for
there's-
ordinance.
I don't know if there might be like a difference between clarifying what the written code actually is versus, and how some might be enforced that are presently like in our code versus adding something new to the code. This would be adding something new, so it's
This is adding
definitely
something new, yeah.
different.
So just putting it out there, maybe you can run it up the chain or something.
Yeah, if I can have that
I
copy.
like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
because that's related more to how people maintain their own lawns
Yeah.
versus how, like us asking them or making them
Exactly.
do something else.
It's like a choice.
Yeah.
It's a choice. And I've noticed a lot of properties really have been choosing, like the Plymouth Meeting Friends is purposely creating a meadow in their front. I've even noticed up the American Weeding Company is only mowing along the edge of their property. I don't know if you guys have seen that, and it seems that they're purposely allowing other grasses to grow taller. So I'm noticing that more properties, not just homeowners, are making those choices. So it's becoming a more acceptable, embraced approach. So anyways, I thought, since this was already done, it would be easy.
Do we know how often folks are cited for that kind of stuff? Like, yeah, I guess I don't know exactly what Plymouth Code is on this, but like I've had tall native flowers and plants like in the strip next to the sidewalk and the road, for years, and I've never had any complaints or any issues with code enforcement. So I don't know if,
I remember a case of 5 years back or so, there was a property owner who hadn't cut their lawn for a while. And I remember that topic being brought to or sent to the AB for some reason. We got to review it, but I don't know that we made any real input to it. But anyway, it's just a case where somebody was elderly, she couldn't afford lawn care. I don't know that this would get her out of that because she would have to convert her lawn to meadow first before she could get an excuse from high-level plants. But anyway, that was just one example I'm aware of.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of, maybe you're not actively, the township might not be actively citing people, but if a neighbor were to complain or something, like, your median is out of control, and then you'd explain, well, I'm purposely creating habitat here, and then the township would be able to say, we allow it according to this ordinance. You know, it's a purposeful thing. I don't know.
The house next to you, Lena, before it got turned over, that grass would be, like 1.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I mean, really tall. I don't know if anybody cared or complained, but.
I know there's a couple of, like repeat offenders in the township that the townships, they know about, and I know of 2 that they will send the landscaper out there and then lean the house, because it's not just not cutting their grass, it's more than that. But there are a few, I know of at least 2 that are a problem.
I was at, tabled at Whitby Township Day last September. Turns out it's gonna be on Saturday the 27th from noon to 4, so I probably won't be able to help the trees. But there was a table next to mine. It was a service business where they were helping homeowners turn their lawns into whatever you call that, new format meadows or whatever. So anyway, there is a service, people are getting into it.
Like a company?
Yeah.
Okay, not the nonprofit Journey Work, okay.
She's got a business.
Good.
Push forward, okay?
What's that?
Go ahead, push forward.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, good stuff. So the walk-in bike path development, Frank, we got some meetings coming up?
Yeah, we're going to meet with Matt. Alan, you were going to be there. Were you? Bill, you were available by Zoom. Yeah. And I'll take any ideas now, but I will put together like an agenda or a something for us to talk by, but really talk over with him some of our ideas with the goal of getting his input, getting some good data on how much some of this stuff would cost. And eventually, at some time, going to council, show them what we have, and seeing what their thoughts are. And hopefully Matt would act as, what I call a sponsor for us, somebody who, we go to council, he gets in front first. Hey, these are B people, they're good people, they've been working on this, I want you to help them out, blah, blah, blah. Along with that, a little pre-solicitation, like for my councilwoman, I would try to contact her and just briefly hey, I voted for you, you're here, I want you to listen to me. And I know she seems like a good lady. So just get a little momentum behind that, so before we went to council, they won't go well, what the heck are you guys doing here? The other item, just as a couple observations, Bill sent an excellent history of trail development in Plymouth going back to at least 2012. So while at one time it was historically very informative, at the same time it was whoa, we've been trying this for 13, 14 years, and we really haven't gotten anywhere. The other question I have, and I'd have to ask somebody like the gentleman we talked to on the phone, Bill, and I've said this before, as I ride around, I just see share the road signs, middle of the road, 35, 45 mile an hour, going up Ridge Pike. So the other day I'm in the cell phone lot at this Philadelphia airport in the parallel parking next to I-95. And lo and behold, you look on the far side of I-95, it's a southbound lanes, bike lane. There's a sign and there's a bike lane, 65 mile an hour speed limit. And I'm just there's some things I just don't understand how these things just get there. Now, I don't know how long it is. I didn't do it because when I exit the airport, I'm kind of beyond that. But I was kind of flabbergasted.
Dangerous, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever have opportunity to go to the cell phone lot, go all the way to the end, parallel park, and there's the sign. So anyway.
Allows for bike, is it over?
No, it's
95?
parallel to the highway.
Okay.
Now, again, it may only be some kind of short distance. I'm not, but there's a sign, and
Because Bob Thomas, he's actually quite a renegade, and I've been on bike tours with him, including by the airport,
Okay.
looking at the connection, and I have ridden with him over I-95 where there's the exit ramps, and I would never have done that on my own.
Yeah.
I mean, I never would have done that. It's very scary. So I wouldn't be surprised if actually Bob got that in place so that it would allow him to go that route.
Yeah, again, might be a connector, but I was just really surprised standing.
Every bicycle meeting we had during that feasibility study for the cross-county trail, he came to Plymouth on his commuter bike, so he'd take SEPTA up to the Conshohocken lot, and he would bike over here, and he would bike back, and a couple times I took him so he could make the train in my car. But anyway,
So I still think, that, for an initial push, it wouldn't be bad to try to get something done on Jolly Road, just because it's Plymouth owned, Plymouth controlled. It looks pretty easy. It's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. I think Matt even mentioned that when we were at the traffic calming thing, something like that. Just to start, and then some of these other ones, like if we get permission to go under the power lines, if we do some of the other longer ones, is going to take some work, some money. It'd be good to hear from Chris, his input, see what he wants to, what he thinks. So again, I'll put together a bunch of stuff for Matt. Looking forward to meeting with him, and
Are you gonna do, like, your bike route options that you put together?
I would-
Are you gonna put it in, because I know you're gonna be attending virtually. Are you gonna do like a PowerPoint or something?
do something like that. Yeah.
Because I'm wondering,
yeah, why don't we review the deck, the three of us, over the weekend,
Yeah.
and just, get in sync to make sure we've got everything we want.
because
Yeah.
Bill could run that for you, but since he's attending on his computer. Like, if you put those together, then you could run it, because you're gonna be attending virtually. Rather than you having to like email that to Matt and have Matt do that on it,
We'll figure it out.
yeah.
We'll figure it out. I'll put together something by Friday and send it to you guys. Comments Monday. We'll meet with Matt and we'll just go with it. We'll just tell him what we're thinking and
Sounds good.
do that. Any other input or ideas or anything? We've pushed this around a lot. Hopefully with Matt, we'll kind of you're welcome to join too. You probably work during the day or whatever, but you're more than welcome to join or anybody's welcome to join, but Ellen and Bill have been kind of.
If you could join, would you be able to join virtually? 2 to 3
It's possible. I have to check my calendar.
Yeah.
on August 25th, 2 to 3.
Yeah, I have to check my calendar.
Yeah.
But tomorrow at least. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't feel like, there'll be a lot more, probably more significant after this. If you can, wonderful, but don't lose your job or something.
I'm really glad we're going to be able to sit down with him, because I think that Bill can go through the tremendous amount of history and effort that has occurred over a good long period of time. And you have these great options of getting between the community center and the SRT, Frank, and, starting small projects. I would like to talk about the Whitpain Trail example, and dispel the belief that you can't do anything under the PICO lines, because that is incorrect and false. I know that is not true. And so, because I think that is our biggest opportunity here in Plymouth for an off-road trail, is beneath the PICO line. So I would hate for us to take that away without, but that is, some of these projects are going to take literally decades and a lot of money in writing grants, and we can't do it by ourselves as a turnover EAB group. It needs to be led by the township staff. These projects are too big for a little volunteer group of people that meet once a month. And so I'm hoping that we can get some traction going,
And when you look at the comprehensive plan, they have that line under the power line. They also have it just going straight across Germantown Pike and straight across other roads. So that would have to be kind of,
yeah.
Well, when we talked about it, we did talk about it, that we would push button traffic crossings at each of those. But you're right, it's probably better to do it at a light, crosswalk light, but we only put it across because we said we're gonna do push button crosswalk.
I think that at that level of a comprehensive plan. It was kind of getting the
Just-
lines on a
just
map,
an idea.
conceptual,
Yeah.
just here to here, right? And then you gotta get down to all of the details with PennDOT and all sorts of stuff in the township.
But I guess what I'd like to get to is like, is this really viable? Or are we just like chasing down a rabbit hole? You know what I mean? Don't want to say like, yeah, let's do it. The power line, we definitely like want to get some pre-approval from PICO or whatever before we go too far like with that. If you get my
Just as an example on local government, you know, in terms of making progress, with, White Marsh before us has had a bicycle plan on the books for at least 10 years before we did the comp plan, so at least 15 years. And they've made very little progress on any of it. So it really does take citizen advocacy to really make it a priority, because you have to get it in the budget and you have to really, so I think the fact that you're willing to speak up for it, Frank, is really admirable.
I mean, you know, depending on where this goes, presentation to council, whatever we got to do, we'll just keep it on the front page.
And I think the time is right. I mean, really active transportation, pedestrian and bicycle infrastructure is all the rage, right? And who could use it more than us? Plymouth needs it. It's not safe walk and bike around, right? So there's no denying it.
The last big town hall that Plymouth had, I think that one of the topics was
Traffic calming.
traffic calming, yes. So that, I think that aligns with that topic as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, one of the other things, the long path I had between Cross County and the community center went through that office park off Gravers Road. And if I read something recently, that Plymouth is looking at putting a whole bunch of apartment complexes in there. They're going to tear down the office complex and put apartments there.
On Gravers Road?
The one off of Gravers Road, it's between
Chemical and,
Sandy Hill and,
there was just somebody in for, the other side of Chemical, I guess, Caldwell Lane, they were talking about putting,
okay.
taking those office buildings down and putting,
Okay.
but I don't know about.
You know where I'm talking about,
I know
though?
where you mean. You're talking about between the Metroplex and, yeah, somebody was in
In the elementary school.
Put a lay down yard back there.
Okay. Maybe I.
Next to the old Faulkner where what's his name, the towing contractor is that.
But you know, whoever would be there, again, accessible bike lane right there. So I'll put something together, send it out, we'll comment, Matt, we'll go from there.
Just three quickies on things I think we want to include is, thank you for finding the MOU, Ellen, because I was wondering where they disappeared, and I doubt Matt would have been able to track it down. So anyway, we need to update the MOU to agree, Danella to agree that that section of sidewalk in front of the property is now a Plymouth trail, not a county trail. And it says in the MOU that if the county no longer needs this, then it evaporates. So we've got to renegotiate with Danella to allow us to do the bike trail along Butler. So when the Cross County Trail crosses over to White Marsh Cross, it's going to be at the business park.
Yeah.
But we want to continue a Plymouth Trail connector from there to Plymouth Road, turn left, come up to the mall. So we need that section of Danella property, so we need to get that MOU updated.
I understand that. I'm not sure that we should get into those kind of details in this
No,
conversation.
that's fine, but I just don't want to lose it off of the list of things to do.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that could just be a small note.
Yes, yeah.
The other one is that we had a design from one of the engineers for a bike lane under the Trenton Cutoff, protected bike lane. And I know you showed it to me, so I know it's somewhere, but we haven't been able to track it down. So if that engineering firm still has a relationship to Plymouth, it would be worth putting a request to them to say, can you find that
Are you talking about Butler?
Under the
going
Trenton
underneath
cutoff.
the-
under the Trent cutoff? So when
Yeah,
Butler
okay.
Pike goes up to Plymouth, we have a
Yeah.
protected bike lane design. And
Yeah.
literally, Plymouth engineer did it.
Okay,
When
yeah,
they- when they
unfortunately,
re-
there
yeah,
was
when they
sinkhole
redid-
work there, and we tried to come in and get at the county level to get bike and ped access there, but the project was already too far along and we couldn't get it.
But it's still worth having
Years
in
ago.
our pocket, so that when we do get the funds to continue the Plymouth Trail, we can ask for that. It may be down the road 10 years, but we need to go back to that bridge and get access.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if the space is,
There is
The protected bike lane that was designed did allow enough space, so I think it's still worth not losing that. All I'm asking for is us to find that asset.
okay,
Whether we implement it or not, that can be decided later, but I think we don't want to lose this asset. Money was spent on it,
yeah,
and I think we need to get it into our hands.
who has it?
The engineering firm that we're contracted with.
Yeah, I'll ask them.
That's all I'm asking for. So that we don't lose these things. See, this is part of legacy history. If someone leaves the township or leaves our board, we no longer have memory of that.
Yeah.
Last one is that, and I think we should put these items on the list, is that when we do the PICO right-of-way path, we're gonna need licenses from the owners. We have to get right-of-way for the owners who currently have property occupancy on the under right-of-way. So there are some owners that already have agreements with PICO that they have rights to that property. So they have a community garden, or they put horses back there, things like that. So we gotta find a way to negotiate with them to give us leeway to allow a path across that property.
They're on the list.
Just small notes, yep.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Monday, 2:00.
Be a good meeting. So under the shared energy manager coordination, Bill and I met with the SEM back on the 7th, talking about a new subject for them to work with them on the energy transition plan. They had some comments. They incorporated some updates to the background information since it hadn't been looked at in 4 years. So there's some good information they added there. And then they had some suggested revisions, which really was just kind of I said formatting here, but I mean it's kind of how we were presenting information. So they offered to go ahead and take a cut at implementing their own comments and send it back to us with that reformatted or presentation slightly different, but not much on the content changes. So I was still also personally interested in continuing to go through the state and the county level climate action plan and just comparing, contrasting, deconflicting our plan with this year. So, so I forget after we hear from them. We want to push it forward in the fall here. I don't remember what other dates we came up with there.
It would be great if we could get it in front of council with 2 meetings left at the end of the year, because the SEM rolls off after December, so it'd be good to get it on council's calendar, if possible, October, if they have a draft. And then we could get council's work, feedback, and then come back to them either November or December with the updates. So I think we could circulate it to Matt for circulation to staff as a draft in October or end of September or mid-September, if we're lucky and we get that back.
Ping them, see how they're
doing.
Yes. It was a good conversation. I appreciate getting that work started.
And regarding the county plan, I did see that the county plans to have public input on the county climate action plan sometime. I believe it was listed as September, but I haven't seen a date date yet for it. So there will be a chance to engage with the county on the county action plan, and that would be a great opportunity for the public to go and hear more about the climate action plan, and then we could tie that into our public announcement whenever we get our plan together. We could tie it together to the county plan, just like you're suggesting.
And could you send out the?
Yeah, I happen to see it in county email, but I'll try to do that.
And then, so we have a meeting with Matt and Rick, with the SEM really presenting their findings on the Springfield RFI, some more on the solar and the EV charging study that they did, or what you call it. But I think we'll probably focus mostly on their feedback from reviewing the Springfield RFI. And then you did send me the time that was 10 a.m.?
I think it was listed as 10 a.m.
Yeah, I think it is 10 a.m., but I think he sent the invite out. I didn't send the invite out, so I'm assuming it was 10. I can't remember.
Something, I mean, if you guys are sending out the, like, teams and stuff, invites, you could start putting the times in the actual, like, text that you do, because
If it's in the calendar invite, you have to save it to your hard drive, and then you have to open it in Outlook to get it to go to the Outlook calendar, and then you have to copy it over to your own calendar.
I mean, I don't use
It's
Outlook,
very-
so I know it attaches
it's
that.
not
and
easy.
everything.
You guys are speaking a different language. I just go in there and click it. And I don't know how to do any of that. So.
And just a little note, just
Since
to
I don't use Outlook, it doesn't appear anywhere in the
Anything doesn't give you like a reminder or whatever.
So just for the rest of the group, so the hesitation with the township is that they're currently locked into electric rate of like 6.43 cents a kilowatt hour. And so the payback for solar doesn't make sense when you're looking at their electricity savings. So even direct ownership, it's hard to make a payback until later in the year. So, but anyway, and council doesn't have any money in the budget because they spent so much on the firehouse that needs a second story. So there's no money for us doing solar. So the only option is to do a PPA, PSA, or a lease or financing. And PPA didn't work real well unless you go at 7.5 cents a kilowatt hour. And so the hesitation, I think, for council will be, well, we're already getting 6.43. Why do we want to go to 7.5? Why don't we just wait till November 2026, renegotiate for a better rate? It's got to be better than 7.5. Anyway, so I think that's what their concern is right now. Say, why should we invest in solar when we can't, see that it'll save us much money? Well, I just emailed the ESCO today, say, what's the current rate if we had to renew today? And he came back with 8.5 cents. So I think we've got a better argument now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, so the locking in the rate for an extended period of time, much more than 3 years, is really the big selling point. I mean, even if you're paying a little bit more now, you're gonna lock it in for 20 years or so.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I think, so I mean, we're also, Matt did put us on the workshop agenda for the September meeting. So we'll get a chance in front of council also to talk about this. So on the 21st, I think that's also kind of an objective of that meeting is decide, set the agenda for what we want to cover with the council on the 2nd. I don't know if that's just the RFI output or
Well, if we got 20 minutes, then we can get the solar, the EV, the energy transition plan in 20 minutes, and then give Frank 5 minutes for bike. Why not get everything in front of him? I mean, we could see.
That sounds too much. I don't
We
know.
could see how much we got. That's fair. mean, if,
I don't see that working.
if we have a positive response by Matt on Thursday, and we think that he can help us make the case to council, we may not need much time in front of council. Because if he's convinced that it's financially beneficial for the township, he can help make the argument. So we may not need a lot of time, I don't know.
Well, we'll see how it goes on the 21st, and then we'll see. All right, that's, I think all I had actually on this topic. Any questions? All right. Single-use plastics, did see the updates, they weren't recent, but I don't know, Andrew, did you type those ones in? But 13 total entries now, 11 businesses. I think really all of them now are no longer offering plastic bags. 7 of the 11 offering paper bags instead. 2 of the 11 with actual visible signs. And the one restaurant we did have, again, did include plastic utensils without a request from the customer.
The Wawa, I was just at the Wawa in Plymouth on the edge of Morristown, I guess, the one on and near the fountain regime where they have the, I guess, where you can fill up whatever. It says, they have a sign that says, due to a local ordinance, please ask a register associate for a straw. So, it's like they're,
Okay.
it's like they're following.
I'm still getting straws and utensils at Dunkin' Donut, Wendy's,
Did you put that in the sheet?
and Burger King. No, I'm delinquent. Do you mind sending that link out again?
Sure.
Yeah, I would do it too. I didn't know we were still doing it, but I'd be glad to give my input.
Is it still valuable, you think, to be?
Yeah, I think it's worth, because you just brought it up tonight, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I forgot to record these, because if we say these are the only ones that are delinquent, we really don't know how widely spread it is.
Okay, I'll send it out.
Let's try to do it for this month, and then we can decide what to do with it at the next meeting, and then we'll stop. But we'll take this data and we'll figure out, pass it to code enforcement or what, but, yeah.
I have to say, I think it's really having a positive impact, the ordinance, because I was just at Target the other day, and definitely, you think about the numbers of people that go there, go in and out, and I definitely saw more people carrying reusable bags in with them than I ever used to see, for sure. So it's definitely having a good impact.
I don't know if East Norton is going to do something, but the Acme and the Weiss up there are a lot of plastic bags. They got them. I guess there is no ordinance there.
No EAC.
Whatever, but as soon as you cross the line,
Yeah.
And it is impactful because when you look at the plastic bags, they got them on those rotating things, and there's like 100 here, 100 here, 100 here. There's a lot of plastic bags.
Yeah.
I do think as many people might go and comment, I'm gonna go to East Norton to get my stuff.
No, you're not.
You're not gonna.
There's a point where it becomes a little bit too far to drive.
Oh, right. I don't think they're going there for that. I just say they still have it. And
But apparently, people were saying that before the audience, right?
Yeah.
They always do.
Yeah.
now that they're doing a traffic project up there, it's even less of an incentive
Right.
to go to those.
Go anywhere.
Isn't East Norton, what's the municipality with the King of Prussia Mall in it?
King of Prussia.
Upper Marion.
Upper Marion. I was thinking of Upper Marion, because I know Upper Marion has it in the King of Prussia Mall, so that's a big.
Ooh, it's a big one.
Oh, that's
They had it
huge.
before we did. We used it as a. Yeah.
I was surprised that East Norton doesn't have it because Tyler Asian Market, I assume they're East Norton. They don't offer plastic bags, but I don't know if it's just them or other places too.
Is that East Norton, where the Acme and Weiss and,
Yeah.
is that East Norton?
It's not a run. Yes.
Yeah, you're talking about, is that the Han?
No. It's, I think, in the same.
Shopping center where the Big Lot was. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
Tractor Supply now.
Oh,
But that's East Norriton,
yeah,
right?
that is East
It's
Norton.
definitely East Norton, yeah.
Right across from suburban hospital.
Hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, East Norton.
East Norriton. Yeah, I don't think they have any ordinance. I have seen them giving out plastic bags. Even the Bluebell, I just wonder, like, White Marsh is such a progressive one, but.
Does Whitpain have
Not
one?
Whitpain doesn't have, ordinance, plastic ordinance. I meant Whitpain, sorry, I said White Marsh. Yeah, otherwise they have like so many other good policies and I don't know why.
Well, it's good that we did it too, because it's just like, all the neighbors around these municipalities are doing it, so maybe,
At some point.
yeah, it'll force them to do it.
All right. Social media, I know you're gonna do the tree giveaway. Good opportunity to talk about November and if we're gonna do the community engagement event again. I know last month we talked about it a little bit, missed the opportunity to put that one in the newsletter. I realized too late. Needed to write up a whole thing on that, but so I think we're all in favor of doing a November community engagement event similar to
Yeah.
last year. Figure out the details.
Yeah, we have to come up with a new idea though for engagement.
And what, can you expand on that or?
Well, I mean, something more specific. Last year it was just like, first year, so we were just trying to test out things, right? But I think we can be more specific.
I wasn't here last year. Can you describe what you did last year?
So we invited scouts, all the scouts and parents, they came in. So we had, were you there?
I was there.
Yeah, you were there, right? And then Paul's wife came in, and so like we decided at least we should bring our like families. So my daughter came in, some like few more scouts and their parents, and like they showed up. And we ran kind of SWOT analysis. What are the like strengths and weaknesses and opportunities and threats that we have for our township, specifically like from environmental perspective. We talked more like broadly about like not just environment but like sustainability, like from that perspective. So we discuss like sustainable infrastructure and like transportation and everything. So we do have like a bus service here, which is a good point. And so yeah, so bike lane one was something that came in that as well. So like we should discuss what exactly, like what format do we want this year. It may not be like same exact people who will show up. We might have different turnout this year, but yeah.
I learned we don't have an ice cream store in Plymouth.
Yeah.
Some of the kids wanted to start it. That's what they came up with, yeah. We could give away our free solar clothes dryers at the
Oh, that's so fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you think like have each of our focus areas like we do here do a short presentation or something? Try to focus the discussion on these
Yeah,
areas?
something like
The energy management one, I mean, that's kind of township and everything, maybe we can have a little bit on that, but I think the other two are very good community engagement.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, I think I wouldn't take, I mean, I would keep the shared energy manager as one of the topic areas because I think maybe it's more informational, but would be really fascinating for folks, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't eliminating, but in terms of getting into deep conversations with everybody, I don't
Yeah.
really get much there.
Yeah, I don't remember. Did we? I think we did go through a little bit of history of our EAB and like all what we have accomplished so far. Yeah. So I think that's something we should keep.
How was that event advertised? I forgot. I mean, I knew you knew all the Boy Scout contacts, but how did you find out about Frank?
I think just being at a meeting here.
Yeah.
I mean, not through like public, communication, just being in a meeting, we're gonna do it next week or next month.
Were you in the board? Were you on the board last?
Yeah, I was there. The hard part of that meeting, a little bit, we could not use this room. We used like a small conference room, and we were kind of elbow to elbow.
Right. So we want to make sure we have.
Yeah, we want to get a good room. I mean, there were not enough chairs. I mean, it was just to happen, whatever was going on. That was
The
the
reason
only
we didn't use this room is because we put it out to the public. They could dial in, so we had to use that room because of it. So,
Did they dial into this room if we did set up Zoom?
I don't know. I mean, at the time, we couldn't. I don't know how. That's why we used that room, because of the.
Nobody dialed in, did they? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
somebody
right.
dialed in.
At least, I think Bill,
I was on Zoom because I was away.
Yeah, I think there was at least 2 people,
Okay.
maybe more.
Just a few. I mean, that was my breakout group that I did. I did the virtual group. So, yeah, there was 5 or so.
Was there? Okay.
Okay.
I remember Bill and another guy. I don't remember anyone else. But that's why we use that room. But if we can do it in here on the Zoom, I mean, you guys can make it happen.
You guys like having the virtual option, or you want to do it? Make sure we just do it in person. I think part of the reason, well, I mean, you were missing it, but we were just trying to make sure we got attendance, and I think maybe some of the scouts or some other people had
Right.
some
So,
conflicts.
yeah, I think you joined in virtual.
Yeah, I was
right?
away. I was away out of town, so I couldn't have been here. So I just, I think virtual is nice because there are cases where the public might be interested but not be able to make it, especially if it's promoted more widely this time. If we put it on Facebook and other avenues to get the word out, maybe it'll draw a wider crowd.
If we
Yeah,
get
another
more,
reason.
go ahead, Lena.
Yeah, another reason for keeping it over Zoom, like having both in person as well as on Zoom, was we involved high school teacher, and she made it open to her AP environmental science students, and other than my son, nobody joined that day, but yeah.
But if we do attract more people, that room will be, grossly undersized.
Right.
I think IT Brandon can figure this out. Because if you guys do Teams from here, you should be able to do Zoom from here.
Right. I don't know why it would be different.
I don't see how it could be different.
It was the TV. I don't know why you can't do it in here. But maybe we
In the
can.
other room, you've got the camera set up, right? We had that turned on.
Right.
Well, when we invited the SEM, didn't they dial in through something? We did virtual. We've done a virtual from here. We had somebody on the screen that wasn't in the room, I thought. Didn't we?
No.
I don't think in this room. Maybe in that room. I don't know what the capabilities of that room are, but the reason why we did it in that back conference room was because of that TV.
Maybe over at the community center? Is there an option there? No,
It's even less. It's even.
less tech.
That's tech, yeah.
Although you
Why-
did have the speakerphone for people that dial into the public meetings.
Why can't we just use the computer?
This is my computer, but I mean, yeah, well, I mean, I'm thinking, because, I mean, so last year, you logged in, it's a township computer, you were logged in, brought up the meeting in there, and that's a desktop PC sitting in there. But it's connected to the camera and
Okay, so if the issue is with the camera and the speaker, I think we can work around that. I have external camera that we can set up on anybody's computer. And we can also connect to the external speaker. And then that way.
And you would hope you could connect to this speaker, I mean, these microphones. I think IT can help us figure that out.
We can ask.
Brandon
I
is
just
a
don't
pretty
know who
smart
he is.
guy. We could ask him.
Yeah, if we can, that's good, but if we cannot, I mean, that's the way around.
Oh, yeah, if you've got your own microphone and speaker, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
By the way, how many advisory councils do we have now? Just a question from last year. I figured
You mean like citizen boards?
Yeah, citizen boards.
What do you think? Somebody put them up on the board at one time.
I feel like it's 10 or 11.
Yeah, somewhere like that. I forget where it was. I probably saw it in here. Maybe at the traffic.
Yes, there was a list here.
And,
I don't know. Is it still updated?
yeah, it is still there. Yep, but no, you missed the slide. Back. Yep, that's the one.
Well, yeah.
They're on the right-hand side, I think.
Those
I can't read them.
folders.
Civil Service, Communication Advisory, Lipping Joint Sewer Authority, Emergency Services, Environmental Advisory Board, Historical Architecture Review Board, Human Relations Commission, Park and Rec, and Shade Tree, Planning Agency, and Zoning Hearing Board.
I,
State Environmental Advisory Board?
I think I did I skip it?
The citizens board, oh yeah, it says it up top, citizen board.
that whole thing about the shade tree, it does seem like that ought to be folded into this, like we mentioned at another meeting.
Is that active?
Well,
It
it
was just a
sounds like they
committee.
don't deal with
Oh,
that
okay.
aspect at all.
Paul,
And it was, I'm sorry?
Wasn't Paul Crypto a member of that at one time?
Yes,
Football.
and I
No?
think,
It was just
from
a
what I
couple.
understand, is that
Oh,
the EAB didn't exist at that time, so they had the park and the shade tree together. But now the park board only deals with park issues, not shade tree issues. And so it seems like that aspect ought to get folded in with the EAB. I don't know how
I
we do
agree.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's another ordinance issue.
I think it is another ordinance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. The board's created by ordinance or resolution?
Good question, I don't know the answer to that.
Because if it's an ordinance issue, it's a little bit longer to fix. If it's a resolution, it's a quicker fix. I just can't remember how exactly they're created, but it's just as simple like saying to council,
Yeah.
and probably coordinating with Parks and Rec to say like, hey, we would like to take over this part if.
I mean,
It feels
maybe
more
it's just
appropriate.
something to mention to Matt, because it just seems like a kind of a housekeeping issue.
Yeah.
The only, I hate to be devil's advocate, but then that dilutes a little bit of this. Unless you increase the number of members, I mean, if you only have 7 board members, and now you have to take on that responsibility, that means these volunteers have to take on that responsibility.
We
It
already
sounds like
kind of
it's, yeah,
are doing
yeah.
yeah,
the tree stuff. They're not doing any tree related
they're
things.
not even doing it.
But we don't have to put it in our name either. We could just keep the EAB.
Just have that be a function, got it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It is misleading. because they don't correct.
I think it was named that, to facilitate like grants. I think that's why it was named that, way back when.
Makes sense.
All right, so for community engagement event, more focus on what we're doing. We'll plan on having 3 presentations on that, and then probably some reuse of the intro charts we used last year. And then we'll check on the use of this room.
Yeah.
versus smaller room. And we'll keep talking about it, because we'll plan that for November, and so we've got a little bit of time.
Do we want to divide, the slides, as in, if we are like takeaway, if you want, since you two worked on that, do you want to take that and take that as like 2-minute presentation, or like let's
I
allocate
think
some
maybe
time,
we
like
should
3
plan on
minutes plus
dividing
2
it the
minutes
same
for
way
question
we-
and answer, something like that, and then maybe plastic ordinance again, because it actually got implemented this year. So, I don't know. Or do we just want to like keep that in the completed works list? We can decide. Yeah.
I mean, on your first comment there, I would plan on Frank, Andrew, or,
Yeah.
I mean, whoever you want, but you're on the hook for your charter too, a couple minutes talking on your.
Yeah, so for bikes, if you can, bike lane. And that's something like ongoing projects or what we are pushing. And then we need their help, right, like to push this forward. So,
Yeah, I mean, I
So-
suppose we could bring up some of these smaller project ideas that, like I was thinking about the seed library, seed bank, like that could definitely be taken on by a Girl Scout Gold Award or a Boy Scout Eagle Award, or
Yeah.
like some of these things that it's just too much for us to do all these things.
Yeah.
Some youth might be
Great.
interested in some of these things. You could even do like a pop-up trail ride of sample routes or something, and scouts could be involved in that, you know. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
there's a way to involve people.
yeah, absolutely.
So we got about 6 minutes left to our preferred adjournment time, so before, just quick, any other social media ideas on what we should post to?
I'm gonna ask Brandon to make an event on our page for the composting event with Colleen. That's on October 8th.
And you can make an event for the tree giveaway too, so it's on the calendar.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Because then people can share that on other Facebook sites. I find events are usually helpful to share as an event rather than a post.
Should I wait until we put the link out to do that?
Rick, anything you want to share on the township? Any?
Just working on the Harmonville Fire Company project. We're going to start the pool, the natatorium renovation project on September 2nd. So that'll be starting. That's really it. That's things that are coming, that are going on now, and we're still going through some punch list items on this building. Seems like I've been saying that for a long time, but there still are some things that are not done yet, so we're still working through those.
I always ask you about the thorn in your side, the geothermal. So interestingly, Matt West was at the Lansdale Borough presentation by Chester County and Montgomery County on the clean energy, all the good work, clean energy work they're doing in the county level. So a lot of resources, model ordinances, et cetera, et cetera. So Matt was there, and Ellen, and a few others we know. But anyway, so Matt's coming out, and I introduce him to two people, and I say, we're were trying to pitch solar, and he didn't respond because, you know, he didn't want to say anything about solar. So I knew that wasn't a favorite topic of his. So then I said, oh yeah, and then we're ready for 100 community. We went geothermal. We got the council to do geothermal instead of natural gas. He kind of squirmed again. And I asked him, I said, what's wrong with the geothermal? He said, it's just not right for the building. It's just, you know, that we can't get the police cooled down, and we can't keep the, you know, other tenants, you know, warm, or whatever. So, so then after I reflected on this, I thought, you know, so here's his idea. He said, you know, it really should have been a rebuild of the building. It should have been a total new building rather than a rehab. So anyway, so I was thinking to myself, if the problem is the air conditioning not circulating, that's not really a fault of the geothermal necessarily. It's more of the air handlers in the existing structure. So I don't know that geothermal or natural gas would have made a difference in air conditioning. You would have still probably had the same problems with getting air circulating in the room. So I don't think we can blame the summer problem on geothermal necessarily. Unless you think otherwise. Do you think that geothermal is a problem that's not cooling?
No, I mean, geothermal is basic. We had a cooling tower. It's the same, instead of using
The tower, we're using the ground.
we're using the ground.
But are you getting as cold a temperature out of the ground as you were out of the cooling tower?
No.
So that could be
But
an issue.
I don't want to say it's a problem. It's just trying to fit, you know, we have to work through a lot of, like, CM3 was here all day yesterday. CM3 is the controls company. There's, you know, things were set up. They did balancing reports and, you know, they tell you where to, you know, the exhaust fan set point should be, you know, so many CFMs. Well, we found out that, you know, exhaust fan was sucking that heat right out of the room, and that room was, you know, 50-something degrees. Like, so there's a lot of tweaking that has to be done. I'm not, you know, I know I say this to I don't want you to think I don't like the geothermal. It's just trying to work through all these issues. Like, you know, I don't think there's any problem cooling the police now. We did have an issue with HRU2. We lost a fan or a empathy wheel motor, and then we found out there was 2 leaks in the refrigerant. So it wasn't like these units are blowing 58-degree air. That's what they should. No matter what unit you're, you know, if it's DX cooling or geothermal or, you know, heat pumps. Like that's a good temperature. It's just trying to get it, like there's VAV boxes in every, it's just trying to work through all the different, and not to mention, you know, for every person that's cold, you know, I have a person here that works here who's telling me how hot it is, but yet she's wearing a full sweater. And I'm like, so, you know, police are different. Police have all that gear on, you know, it's, so I don't think it. Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with the geothermal. It's more about working through all these, you know, all these little.
I was just worried that it set a bad impression on Matt, our new manager.
And one thing I'll say, a new building was an option. There were 3 options. There was renovate, there was an addition, and there was knock this down and build a brand new building. Council at the time said, this is what we want to spend, and that new building was 3 times the amount that they wanted to spend, so that's why we did the renovation. So as much as somebody wants to say, you know, people say we should have built a new building, it was an option, it just was too much money. So.
It came out nicely. I mean,
Yeah, listen, everybody that comes in here, it's real nice. I know, like I could point out 25 things to you in this room that you guys, you know,
don't notice.
don't know about, but that's because I was involved in the whole project. But yeah, the lobby's beautiful, the police department's beautiful, you know, everything came out really nice. We just, and I'll say it, we had a bad general contractor, you know, and you know, low bid, you can't really disqualify somebody. So that was part of the problem on this project.
Who was the general?
I don't want to say the name on there, but I'll tell you after this is over.
Any plans with the parks or the playgrounds next year? Or what are you looking at?
JFK, so we were awarded a grant for JFK Park to replace the play structure. So they took that grant award and they're trying to parlay it into another additional grant. So we should, supposedly they're gonna let us know election days when they announce these grants. So one way or another, JFK is gonna get done, it depends on how much we're gonna do based on whether or not we get that additional grant money. So that's next year.
Anything else for Rick?
Yeah, I had a question about, I'm bringing the topic back on the building, but when you did the cost analysis, did you consider the cost of operations? Okay.
And I mean,
Yeah.
geothermal was very, the geothermal, because of the chiller and the fact that the compressors run all the time, it uses the heat off those compressors, the maintenance costs and the equipment replacement costs for geothermal is much higher than the other options. And we knew that going in. I mean, that was something that, they did the natural gas with DX rooftop units. They did the geothermal. They did a cooling tower. They did like 4 different options and priced it out. And geothermal was the well field was the additional cost, which the others didn't have, and then the maintenance costs over the life of the systems, it's higher.
It's not operation.
Maintenance and equipment equipment replacement and maintenance was
Okay.
higher.
I mean, I thought the cost of operation.
Operation as in.
No, it's still all electric.
Does
Compared
it use
to
the same electricity?
it's electric, yeah. But
No, but
sorry.
does it use the same amount of electricity that the other?
So we have to go, so the original building had 2 services. It actually originally it had a heating service and a regular service to this building, and then Public Works had their own service. So there were originally 3 services. Once once they decided that you could choose your provider, they got rid of that heating service. So we still had 2 services. We had a service to the main building and we had a service to Public Works. During the renovation, you can't have 2 services to a property as per PICO, or that's what PICO said. So now we have 1 service to this building, and then there's a 275 amp breaker that supplies Public Works. So I'd have to get those 2 bills that we used to pay and see what the bills are now. I would bet that this building is much more efficient because now it's all LED lighting, aside from the heat from the HVAC. But there are VFDs on all the motors, and so it's. I would say it's more efficient than the old system. The old system was, I forget how many, 38 water source heat pumps all up in the ceiling that were, 11 SEER to 16 SEER, just, not real efficient stuff, so.
Did they happen to put any extra insulation in when they rebuilt the structure?
No.
When they
The
did
roof, yeah, the roof did, but they didn't take, there was an alternate to pull the stone off the building, insulate, and then put the stone back on. The price was ridiculous, so.
Actually, what is it, just, you reminded me when you talked about the roof, is it a light color up there?
No.
Because that can create huge amount of energy savings, I wonder if the township would ever want to paint that white.
Controversial in this area,
Is it?
because in our zone, you have fairly balanced heating versus cooling days. So, yeah, in the summer it's cooler, but in the winter, you don't get any benefit from the sun.
So in this area, it's not preferred?
I've seen a lot of companies do it, but I see it pretty.
There's a PVC product that a lot of people use that's white. It's just the product is white. This is EPDM rubber membrane roof, which is real common. inexpensive. I don't think we painted the old roof. It's a white night coating from a company called Garland. We painted it, but this roof's too new to paint.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to go to Friday, 10 a.m. Solar demo at Elmwood Park Zoo? Because they're going to show ballast approach to put your solar panels on a flat roof with just ballast, no penetration.
I can't make it Friday, I'm golfing, but.
All right, well, I'll bring you notes.
Good reason.
On a flat roof, you don't have a bunch of penetration, so they do ballast usually.
And is anyone interested in Sunday, September 21st? It's called Sun Space Day, meaning it's a day of celebrating solar because there's enough energy from the sun to power our whole world on clean energy. And there's going to be celebration events all over the country. Hopefully one at Love Park, Philly, on Sunday the 21st. So we're going to have tablers, solar things for the kids to build stuff in related to solar. Anyway, just want to give everybody a heads up.
Interesting.
Thank you. Motion to adjourn?
I second that.